Welcome back, everybody. It's August 3rd, Rednesday. And today we're going to cover a little material that we covered a few weeks ago. We were going to have a guest on, very special, has a lot of information, very good friends with Peter Lawford. Going to talk about what Peter Lawford told him. So, welcome back, guys. It's Mob Vlog. Red Wemette, you're in sunny Florida. How you doing today?
Hot.
Hot and humid, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hot and humid in Florida. It's been humid in Vegas, too, like the last week or so.
Yeah, 30% humidity. You call that humid?
Yeah, well, hey, man, when you're used to 3, 4, 5%, yeah, that's getting up there, man, 30%.
I think it's like 80% here.
Yes. Hello, everybody, and welcome on into the room, guys. Tony Johnson, Ryan Brown's here, Sean Pender, Don Ciccio, Deep Porzalo, Big Tuna, Frank Ferraro, Keith Helton, Rhonda Moretti's back. Scott H is here, like always. John Ramsey, Bobby Bag of Donuts, good to see you. Dave Maliska, brand new member from the south side of Chicago, checking in. Thanks for joining the channel. You have access to some content that you wouldn't normally have access to because you're a member now. So take advantage of that, Dave. Thanks for joining the channel. Israel, it's good to see you. Albert Lopez, Frank Ferraro, all of you guys. Rick Danger, Pete Paccio. Good to see all of you guys. So, Red, last week when we were on doing our show, when we were doing the show last week, which we had Diane Hansen on, and we were talking with her. That was the show that we had last week, if you remember.
I do.
You do, yeah. So a week before that, 2 weeks before that, we did a show about Marilyn Monroe and what you knew about the Frank Schweihs, Tony Spilotro involvement. We looked up a few things that the I-Team from Chicago posted, which we snagged actually before it was taken down. And we covered all that, went over it. And then you guys posted in the comments, you said, hey, there's a video that, how many days after we did ours?
9 days.
9 days. So 9 days afterward, Michael Franzese did a video as well. And everybody was putting in the comments, you guys have to watch it. You have to watch it, right? So I normally don't watch a lot of stuff. I don't, because I'm busy all the time working.
So he sent me. I watched it.
Yeah, Red went and watched it, and he said, Adam, you got to watch this. So I watched it. I sat down and watched it. I found it to be very interesting. And but there were some things that, first off, there were some things we didn't get a chance to cover, and Jac Hayden we wanted to bring on and to talk about what Peter Lawford told him about being at the scene of the crime. And there's no reason not to believe what he says. Jac has quite the history, and we're going to go over some of that because he's a very, very interesting person. Slapsy Maxie, how are you? James Marvin, Victor Hubler, what's going on? So let's get right into this. Red, what did you think? What were your thoughts? Why did you tell me, hey, you got to watch this?
Well, it was inaccurate, totally inaccurate, in my opinion. He left out any Chicago mob involvement. He left out Sam Giancana. He left out a lot of things.
I thought he mentioned Sam. I thought he mentioned Sam. No, he mentioned Sam, that she was dating.
He didn't say that they were having an affair.
I thought that he said that. I could have sworn he did. I could be mistaken, though.
Yeah. Well, he said nothing about the argument they had at the CalNav the night before, the weekend before. He didn't mention that. He just didn't do any research, enough research on it. And it was kind of accurate. It gave kind of a, in my opinion, it kind of gave a false, because we really went in depth in it.
Mhm.
And it kind of gave a false view, in my opinion.
So anything in particular sticks out in your mind about it?
He didn't mention Frank Schweihs. He didn't mention Tony Spilotro. There's a lot of things he didn't mention. A lot of things.
Okay.
He talked about her bedroom being bugged.
He did. Let's roll that. Let's roll that clip.
Okay.
Roll that clip really quick. This is what he said. This is exactly what he said.
She had hired investigators to bug her bedroom because she wanted to have evidence on the people that she was having an affair with.
He didn't. Her bedroom was not bugged. I don't know if she hired a private investigator, but her bedroom was not bugged. They never found any evidence of that, and they didn't have the technology for that in those days. Don't forget, everything was hardwired. On their phone lines that came in to her home, it was a pair for each wiretap, and there was a wiretap there from the mob. There was a wiretap there from the Secret Service. There was a wiretap from the FBI. There was a wiretap from the CIA, and the mob had done. So you got all these wires that are going through a raceway, because that's the only way to do it in those days.
Okay.
And he's saying that he had it bugged. What was the little transistor micro that they did in the 70s, or what? Because it wasn't the 70s yet. How could she bug it and them not know about it?
It's a good point. That's a good point.
And only one guy from the phone company, Pacific Bell, actually did the wiretapping. It was one man that put in each wiretap. He worked for that company, Pacific Bell. There weren't different people. So he personally knew all the taps that went in there.
Okay, so let's I want to introduce you guys to the gentleman, Jac Hayden, that we wanted to have on a few weeks ago. But listen, Jac's 87 years old. So, every once in a while you got to take a nap and whatever. So we missed him on the show, but we have him on right now. And Jac, how are you doing today?
Still pumping.
Still pumping blood and sucking air, huh?
And I mean that in several ways.
God. So guys, a quick little history about Jac before we get into what Peter Lawford told him. Jac was part of the Tops and Blues show for the Air Force back in what years was it, Jac? 52? Am I right?
No, 56, 7, and 8, and so forth.
56, 7, and 8. And how many?
I replaced Dick Van Dyke's brother, Jerry Van Dyke, who was the comic MC, and I replaced him for the show. He was being discharged, and I was just coming in, so the opportunity was correct. It was right there.
So you replaced Dick Van Dyke's brother on Tops and Blues, and how many Roger Awards? I have a picture of you holding a Roger Award.
I have 3 of those for Worldwide Entertainment of Troops.
So he flew the world, entertained troops. He worked with people like Bob Hope. There's a picture of Jac with Bob Hope. And Jac, here's a picture of Jac, Mundane the Great. That was his name. You can see how great is spelled, Red? Grate. Yeah. That's on the Flamingo sign out here in Las Vegas. And there's Jac right there. Jac Hayden also on the Gold Coast sign at the bottom. Smaller, but hey, you got up on that sign as well. And Jac's done a lot of different things for the community out here in Vegas, including running a soup kitchen back in the day. You had a soup kitchen with your friend Bob Beeble.
Yeah, good friend Bob Beeble, another Christian.
And here is Jac. That's Jac on the right with the shaggy hair and the mustache. And sitting on the left, that's Peter Lawford. Now, right across in between Peter and Jac there, who is that, Jac?
That's Sarah Churchill. We're all having dinner. That's Winston Churchill's daughter.
So Sarah Churchill, Peter Lawford. It looks like Lefty Rosenthal in the background a little bit, but I know it's not.
It's not.
In fact, the next table had June Allison and Rita Hayworth.
June Allison and Rita Hayworth were there.
The picture is so grainy and dark you can't see them really, but that was our show, all of us, all 5 of us.
Okay, so tell us about Peter Lawford. So how did you come to know Peter Lawford?
Well, I worked with him on an ocean liner. I worked with him several times. He was at the time President Kennedy's brother-in-law because he had married Jac Kennedy, of course. And we worked together, and he kind of liked my comedy because I did my crutch in show business was a magic act, but I did it a little differently than other magicians. All my tricks fell apart. I screwed them all up. Nothing came out right, and that's why I was Mundane the Great. And Peter loved that. He laughed a lot and invited me to his house where he lived with his fiancee, Patsy. And we became good buddies until he died on Christmas Eve of 1985.
Okay, so you guys are pretty dang close. Now, what did he tell you about Marilyn Monroe's death?
Well, Peter and Marilyn were very close, quite close. And anytime she needed something, she called Peter, and they dined together a lot, and they had some intimate time together. And they lived not too far away from each other in West Hollywood. And when her maid found her dead in her bed, she called Peter Lawford. She didn't know who else to call. So she called Peter, and then at the same time, or shortly afterwards, he got a call from the White House, apparently, because the operator said the White House calling, and he didn't know who he was talking to until he assumed it was Robert Kennedy, the Attorney General. So get over to Marilyn's apartment and take a clean house. Pick up matchbooks, cigarette butts, coins that have dropped that might have fingerprints on them, all kinds of stuff, notes, everything, and clean house. So Peter went over there and started to clean the place up. Marilyn was still there, dead in bed. And it was 6 hours later that they called the police and said they found Marilyn dead, apparently of an overdose of drugs and alcohol. And Peter took that 6 hours to clean the place up. And he took everything that could possibly indicate anybody else being there.
Jack, does that include the diary? She had a diary?
He didn't see that.
Yeah, but he was looking for it, right?
It came up later. It appeared somehow later. I think the FBI found it, or the CIA, or somebody. But Peter didn't see that.
Okay, so or at least he didn't mention any of that to you. I'm sorry.
Again?
I said, or at least he didn't mention that to you, that he saw any diary.
No, he didn't mention the diary, except later when we talked another time. He said, on the FBI. I forgot whether it was the CIA or FBI or even the local police. I found the diary and they confiscated it for her notes of where she'd been, what she did that day of her death.
Okay, quick question here from Trace. Did you meet Marilyn Monroe?
No, I never met her, but Peter said that he was going to take me over there one day because he went to her apartment a lot for dinner, and she came to his house for dinner for him and Patsy. And he said he was going to have me for dinner one day when he's got Marilyn coming over. So I was looking forward to that, but that never happened.
Didn't he fly? Jack, didn't he fly on a helicopter over there?
Peter did not fly in a helicopter. However, he owned L.B. Mayer's big mansion. He bought it when Mayer died on Malibu Beach, and the house behind it had a heliport. So once in a while, a helicopter could land there. But Peter never, I don't think. No, he may have. No, he probably did, because in show business, he was bounced here and there to do shows and appearances. So possibly he did. Possibly he rode that helicopter right directly to the White House because he was President Kennedy's brother-in-law.
Now, was it Bobby Kennedy that sent Peter there to clean up?
He didn't know. He assumed it was Bobby Kennedy, but it was from the White House, somebody in the White House.
So without saying that, I imagine he got the phone call to wipe it up because pretty important people's prints were laying around.
Yeah, there was all kinds of people there, even people from the White House.
This is an interesting question. This is an interesting question because I know that Peter did do a lot of drinking and a lot of drug using, but was he sober when he talked to you about this?
Yes, he was. We were just sitting in his living room on Corey Avenue in West Hollywood when he told me this stuff. But Peter was a guy who was very secretive. He did not want. That's his book. His current life book is "The Man Who Kept the Secrets" is the name of his life story. But I knew very quickly that he didn't want me to bring up a subject that was taboo. If I was to know anything that he knew, he would bring the subject up and tell me. So I never really pumped him with questions on Marilyn, about the president, about his relationships with this one or that one. And he did tell me a lot about his relationships. And boy, he was a busy guy and made movies too.
Yeah, he got around. And you have any questions for Jac, Red?
No. Is Jac going to be on the after? Jac, would you join me on the after show?
Jac,
ask me that,
yes.
Adam, because that was a muddled sound.
Yes. Do you want to be on the after party, Jac?
What?
Yeah, well, we want to talk to you some more about your career, I think, in the after party show, okay? We're going to have Jac on in the after party, but a couple of quick questions from some comments and some comments about this. So Don Ciccio di Porzalo, I believe they've been bugging since the 50s. Remember Little Al? Yeah, but like Rhonda said, old time bugging. Like microphones were as big as a chandelier.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't. They didn't
have condenser mics then.
Yeah, they didn't. The mics were a little. It was different. It was a lot different. It was hard to hide them too. I imagine. So, Michael Graham. Okay. Oh God. Oh my gosh. I already know the answer to this, Michael Graham. Jac. Did you know you're gonna love this? I know what Jac's gonna say. Did you know the comic magician Carl Ballantine?
I did. In fact, he was my mentor on television when I was growing up as a boy. That's why I became Mundane the Great, screwing up all my tricks. I loved Carl Ballantine, and Johnny Thompson did the same kind of thing. And my act kind of reflected his while using his material. Ballantine was terrific.
There you go. Hope that answered your question, Michael. Don Ciccio, I think I read that the official flight record, Bobby Kennedy was in L.A. on that night, and I believe it was on a helicopter.
Could be.
Okay.
Very, very possible, yeah. But I can't say yes or no because I don't know for sure, but I assume you're correct.
Okay. So, Tony Johnson, bugs and taps are two different things.
They certainly are.
Bugs and taps are two different things. Adolf Hitler was bugged by the Finnish government during a visit in World War II. That had been in the 40s.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, don't know. Jac, in your opinion, what do you think happened to Marilyn Monroe with what Peter Lawford told you?
I've talked to a number of people about it, and of course I read it. A lot of authors have written about it, and it's all speculation because I don't think the official report ever came out. The death certificate, me as a mortician, I had access to information on the death certificate. It was labeled congestion due to drugs and alcohol. That was the cause. But if she was murdered by, like, say, somebody hired to murder her for a reason or another, they would have pumped her full of drugs and alcohol as a symptom, and that would have been the way they murdered her.
Rick Charlton, did Peter think that she killed herself?
I don't think he did. He never said yes or no, but the way he talked to me when the subject came up, we were sitting in his living room one night drinking wine. Oh, wine. That reminds me, a quick joke. They come to me all the time. Jesus at a wedding in Cana. Jesus said to the hostess, "Oh, may I have a glass of water? By the way, put that in a wine glass." Peter and I drinking wine. I thought of that joke. Anyway.
Oh, Jack, hold on. For those of you on medication, it's now 4:20. Go ahead, Jack.
I'm on medication, but I'm going to change my doctor. I don't like the one I have. He's got a model of a colon on his desk, and he keeps the tongue depressors in it. I think that's repugnant. So I'm going to change doctors. But it's better than the first doctor who worked out of the trunk of his car. But I'm doing fine at 87, you know. What was your question, by the way?
Oh, so the question, Mr. Hayden has a great memory. Yeah, he does have a great memory. He definitely does. So let's see. William Kirchmayer, there is a YouTube video that has Hitler's normal voice recorded by Finnish sound text during a meeting with Field Marshal Mannerheim in 1942. So, and it was a hidden recording, I'm guessing, right, William? A bug? So
if they did it, there might have been a phone in the bed in that room, in the conference room, and they used the telephone lines to do it because you couldn't do it by radio.
Right. Jim Yeager. Oh, hey, Jim Yeager. Jim Yeager's the one who won the trivia contest last week. Ended up donating. He won a pizza box, $200 pizza box. And he ended up donating it. And then who was it? Jim Magnifici that won the auction. And we auctioned it off. I think we raised $80. And Vegas Specialty Tours kicked in an extra $20. And we made a donation to the donation that he wanted, which Resiliency Among Warriors is the that's where the $100 went to, guys. So that's what we donated it to. We put it up in the community. But they help suicide prevention among veterans. So it's a good organization. Look it up, make a donation to it. Why not help out the veterans? So, but hey, thanks for donating it last week, Jim. Just seeing his name reminded me of it. So, Jim, let's see. Jack, here's the question from Jim Yeager. Jack, did Peter Lawford ever talk about Frank Sinatra?
Yeah. Peter and Frank Sinatra, because Peter was one of the original guys in the Rat Pack. There were 4 of them. And he was replaced later by Joey Bishop. The reason that Sinatra kicked him out of the Rat Pack, Peter told me this story, and of course it's in his book anyway, so I guess I can repeat it. JFK was going to fly to California for a little 2-week break from Washington, and he called Peter and said, "Please make arrangements for me to stay in Frank Sinatra's house," because he knew he wouldn't have so much public attention that he'd have to certainly respond to and all that. He wanted a quiet couple of weeks in Hollywood, in California. So Sinatra was called by Peter Lawford, and he made arrangements for the president to stay there and the arrival time and all the particulars. Well, Bobby Kennedy, who was then, while Jack was the president, was Attorney General of the United States. He said, "No, you're not going to stay with Sinatra. He's too mob connected. We can't have that because that would look good for the president to stay there." He said, "Make other arrangements." So Peter made arrangements for him to stay with Bing Crosby, a good Republican conservative. And so the invitation was switched. Bing Crosby took the president in as a guest. And Sinatra was so mad, he couldn't blame anybody in the White House. He couldn't be mad at Bobby Kennedy. He couldn't be mad at the president. So he was mad at Peter Lawford. And he tore down a room, Sinatra, that had built on the side of his house just for the president's privacy, which I think at that time cost him $87,000 to build that extra room. Well,
didn't he build something for the Secret Service there?
I'm not sure. He had accommodations like a guest house for CIA agents who followed the president. You know. But that's when he kicked Peter out of the Rat Pack. And Sinatra told him, he said, "You'll never work this town again." And from that time on, Sinatra had called all the movie studios and TV studios, said, if you ever use him again, you got to deal with me. And of course, they were kind of leery and afraid of Sinatra. And so Peter had to struggle for work till the end of his life.
That's it.
Yeah, basically ostracized him from Hollywood.
He tried desperately and almost made it completely end Peter Lawford's celebrity career.
Wow. Rye, Chris, MC. Yes, Bobby was in LA 100%. He was also seen with Marilyn at her house with her doctor. The shrink, the maid, and ambulance driver came forward later on in life, I believe. Interesting. Michael Graham, the Kennedys didn't report for many hours. Ted Kennedy driving off the Chappaquiddick Bridge, thank you, which killed Mary Jo Kopechne. So it makes sense that the Kennedys tried to do damage control with Marilyn. It does make sense.
Well, they definitely did, because they wouldn't have sent Peter Lawford over to the White House, whoever that was, wouldn't send Peter Lawford over there to clean house before they called the police. And it was 6 hours later Peter had the place cleaned up enough to call the police.
Pete Byron, interesting. JFK was an outsider who won the presidency. Sound familiar? Chicago's the ones responsible for getting him in to office. Right, Red? We did a video about this.
Yes.
Right? I mean, it was...
Sam Giancana pulled out the vote for him. Sinatra went to see Sam Giancana.
So
many times, by the way. They were very connected, Sinatra and Giancana.
Yeah, they very much.
Actually, Sam had a piece of the Calnav hotel that Sinatra owned.
The Calnav, do you remember that? The Calnav?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, the Calnav. Now wasn't there something that took place there too, Red?
Yes, Marilyn was there with Sam Giancana. They were having an argument. This was days before she decided to go public.
Okay, so they had an argument up at the Calnav beforehand, her and Sam. Oh, boy.
That story was, and Peter told me this story while sitting in his living room one night, that she had called President Kennedy and said, "You've got to divorce Jackie and marry me." She wanted to be first lady of the land.
Oh.
And she said, after many times trying to get him to do that, she said, if you don't do that, I'm going to go public. And that's shortly after when she died.
So that's the
well, you can draw your own conclusion on that, but that's the timing of it. When she threatened to go public with a relationship, and she died shortly afterwards.
See, I don't know. Coincidence? I don't think so. I'll tell you what is a coincidence, though. Bar Light Broker, you just posted up here. Mark N., do you know why people moved to Bloomington, Illinois? To be closer to normal.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? That's kind of a corny joke, but it's coincidental because I had the Campbells and the Costellos with me yesterday, and guess where they were from, Red?
Hey guys, we just got finished with the Vegas Mob Tour, and I have the Costellos and the Campbells with all the way from Normal, Illinois. What did you guys think of the tour?
Just awesome.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So entertaining.
Yeah, for 2.5 hours it went by like we were there a half hour. Yeah, I mean,
It goes by quickly.
It really does. No, it really does. And I just love seeing the actual places like in the movie, the actual things, the actual scenes here, and I mean the houses that people were unfortunately might have had something bad happen to them. And seeing those actual places is incredible. It really is. Talk about information.
Awesome.
Really
thank you guys so much for doing this. It was awesome having you here. And if they can make it all the way from Normal, Illinois, You guys can make
What
it
you can
too.
do too.
Prescribe.
All right. So thanks again, guys. If you're watching the Costellos and Campbells, thanks for taking the tour. Jim Yeager, he recounts Sinatra destroying his house in Palm Springs after he is told that JFK would be staying at Bing Crosby's house.
Right.
Yeah. Destroyed his house. Must have been really upset about this. Huh? So, what was that? Old man Kennedy. Sorry, Tony Johnson. The old man Kennedy had gone to Giancana twice. There, when we hit put out on him twice. When there were hits put out on him. One by Buffalo Mob and can't remember the other one.
I'm not aware of that, Tony.
Never heard that, Tony. Yeah, never. I've never heard that. Not that I know of. So, shoot, I can't make it through the airport anymore. Yeah, well, I can't wait to get out to Vegas to take the tour with you, Adam. I've only read and heard great things about the tour. That's impressive how satisfied everyone is when you do your tour. When they do your tour. Well, thanks a lot, Arthur. I hope to meet you when you come out here. So, AAA. It was a wire mic left on in a meeting with the Finnish officials. Right. The mic was left on and Hitler spoke with some Finnish officials. So I guess that it was an accidental recording about.
It could have been a broadcast, a radio broadcast. Hitler did them all the time.
Oh, hey, Big Mo's here. How's it going, Big Mo? Michael Graham, the presidential race between 1960 between Kennedy and Nixon was super close, and it was Chicago outfit that got JFK elected, which is why Sam Giancana was so mad when Bobby Kennedy went after the mob. That's 100%.
Part of that he didn't mention was the unions. They had the coal miners unions in West Virginia. All those unions. So he pulled West Virginia. He pulled all the other electoral votes that just weren't in Illinois.
Well, Golf Boy, according to him, he said that JFK didn't need Illinois' electoral votes to win the election. I don't know. What I always heard was what we just read there before.
It isn't what I heard. I looked at the mathematics.
Okay, Ron Frey, James File told me to my face he drove Nicoletti to the airport the day before Marilyn Monroe was whacked. They hit her. Just back to James Files. Here we go with James Files. Right? I don't know.
Read Crip 33.
Now you talked about so Michael Franzese did this subject the other day on his show, the Marilyn Monroe. There were a couple of things though that you'd pointed out that I don't know, they were a little inaccurate. Red might say.
I would say they're very inaccurate.
Well, here's an example of just a quick clip here, okay?
Normally, you don't give an enema to yourself. At least I don't think so.
All right. So normally you don't give an enema to yourself. I mean, really?
I don't know. What do you call your wife in to do it for you? The maid?
I don't know. I'm just saying, man. Like if you get some constipation problems, it might be a good idea to administer that to yourself. I'm sorry, what's that, Jack?
As long as you're in constipation, let me tell you, as a mortician, which a mortician has half the study of a doctor, really, to be licensed embalmer, let me tell you that people do indeed, many times, give themselves an enema with a product on the market called the Fleet enema. It comes in a tube with a tip that you can insert and you give yourself an enema, and that's been out, oh my God, for 25 or 35 years.
And aside from that, Jack, my information tells me that it was a suppository. It was not an enema.
Suppositories, yes, they're self-inserted. But the enema, like I said, you go to the drugstore and ask for a Fleet enema, and you'll see that it can be used by yourself.
Okay. I mean, I
so
imagine
that would be normal. Normally, someone would give it to himself, the complete opposite.
So, yeah, and Red, didn't you tell me a story about about a junkie that was keeping his stash in the back of a toilet? What was that story?
I didn't even know. Somebody asked me to get the police report. Somebody from Grand and Ogden asked me to get the police report on a death that occurred. So I got the report, and I read the report, and I gave it to him. And it turned out that it was cocaine in a enema, which he kept the enema kit and the cocaine in the back of the toilet. And what happened was he had a heart attack in the bathroom, and he was only about 38 years old then.
Belinda said she wishes she had a maid to call to administer her enema when she had to do one prior to her hysterectomy surgery. I don't know, man. Fleet enema. That's the way. Get it away with it. Man, you imagine taking drugs like that? There was a guy, remember Mancow's Morning Madhouse? Chicago, aired in Chicago. Mancow had some guy on there. I can't remember his name, but it was a sidekick. And he used to give himself different, like a vodka enema, like coffee enema, all kinds of crazy shit on that show. I mean, that was a bizarre, well, they called it a madhouse, so I guess it was a fitting.
How did we switch from Maryland to enemas?
Well, yeah, I know. That's what happens on this show.
Michael Franzese said it was an enema that killed her.
Right, which we heard it was a suppository. Anyway,
no, I think there were some people there that killed her.
Yeah.
I've always thought that, as many people think that, but we're speculating, all of us, because it was never proven,
Got it. No, of course. It is all speculation. But,
well, many years ago, I believe it was 1988, Milo Spilotro wrote a book called Crypt 33. And he documented from the Pappas family. Eugenia Pappas was murdered. And he documented from the man who was a police officer in Chicago, retired, who went out to LA when he wrote the book. And he told about people's involvement in Marilyn Monroe's murder. Frank Schweihs, he talked about he was there. The outfit sent him there. And because of that, his sister was killed.
So Joseph Brennan Jr., how did they get the suppository into her? Hold her down? I could tell you how they got it in there. Probably with, you know what I mean? Like right there. Oh boy.
There are so many ways to insert.
No, I tell you what, Luminous Grins got it. The killer, he slipped it in the back door. He slipped in the back door. Oh God, that's funny.
That's a crappy joke.
It's really, really crappy, isn't it? How did they get it in her? Slowly, very slowly, carefully.
With great desire.
Jesus. Oh, new meaning. Hey, new meaning of a bag man. New meaning of a bag man. Oh my God. Sinatra.
Now, that's a fact. Scott H is right on the money.
Sorry, Scott.
The doctor gave her a sedative first.
The doctor gave her a sedative first?
Before the men came in.
Ah, okay. Huh. It's that time, Red. I think it's that time.
Let's do it.
Guys, we're going to carry this on with Jack over on Red's After Party. The link's down in the description. But it's time for the trivia question. Are you ready? So we'll do the trivia question, and we'll see who wins. And then they'll have the choice of either getting the prize from the Wheel of the Deal you can't refuse, or they can donate it, in which case it'll go to auction. That's what happens.
Don't they get a respin?
If they've bought the book, if they bought your book and they land on the book, they can auction the book or they can get a second spin. Okay. But if they land on something, unless here's the Wheel of a Deal right here. Unless you land right here, Lake Mead Barrel Ride. Okay. That's the spot.
Bring your own barrel.
Lake Mead Barrel Ride. Then you get a second spin, but if you hit it a second time, then there's no doing it again. Okay. So let's do the trivia question first. And are you guys ready? So last week we had Diane on, and in the middle of the show, we were talking about particular somebody, and somebody sent a photograph in of a mausoleum, a grave in the wall. Who was it? We don't need a full name. We just need you to tell
Who's
us
in the mausoleum?
in the
Who's
mausoleum.
in the mausoleum?
Right. You could tell us the relation to somebody. That's all good. That's all we need. You don't need a name. Just who were they? And let's see if we're going to have anybody bring it in. Somebody said Tony Spilotro. No. You Hefner. No. Oh, Sedway. That's Sam's Pete. That's close. There you go. Living Good Inca. Living Good Inca. That's the first one, I think, Brett. You guys are so close to the niece.
I was watching it.
It's the sister. Answer, Di Stefano. Correct, James Marvin, but you didn't say Di Stefano. What relation? So that's not going to work. So I think we have a winner. We got a winner, Red. We've got a winner. And we've got a winner here. So we need you to call in. Call in the number on the bottom of the screen, the one that's scrolling across. And
who's calling? Who's supposed to call in?
Our winner.
Who is the winner?
You put her. You clicked it and put it up there.
Say the name.
Sister. Wow, man. Where is it, Red? Oh, Living Good Inca. It's Living Good Inca.
Okay, we'll see if Living Room.
Oh, here we go.
702.
We need a call from Living Good Inca. And we're going to verify you. And Living Good Inca. Oh, my God. Well, call in 702-677-9015.
While Adam's doing that, we'll find out that.
All right, we've got her. We've got her on air. What is your name?
I'm Kathy Miller.
Kathy Miller. Where are you from?
I live in Southern California, but I grew up in Chicago.
You grew up in what part of Chicago?
The northwest. Well, actually, the northwest side. Kind of by Park Ridge, but actually in Chicago.
Okay, awesome.
Norwood Park.
You're from Elmwood Park?
No, Norwood Park. That was on the north side, right over next to Jefferson.
Area, right. And then I also spent time in Portage Park too.
Okay. Hi, Kathy.
Hi.
So, Kathy, how long have you been watching the show?
I think probably about maybe a year.
That's it.
And it's great. I love it.
Wow. So you didn't start watching it when Frank was still alive. You started watching it after.
Yeah, I've watched quite a few of those videos. Love seeing that. That was awesome. So yeah.
Awesome. Are you ready for the wheel spin, Kathy?
I am ready. I do already have red signed book.
Okay. So. Thanks for letting us know that up front. Okay. If you land on book, we'll let you respin. All right, here we go. Okay. And you're off. Right. The spin. And you are going to hit the USB. You're getting a $40 USB gun. This right here. It's got the movie, the Vegas Mobster. It's got the first video, Collada's interview. Cool. The interview I did with him in 2017. The last Vegas Mobster is on here. And the last question I ask him is, what do you think is going to happen when you die? Really interesting interview. So that's on here. There's some extras on here. Kathy, do you want the gun or do you want to auction it off?
I'd like to see it, but you know what? I think I'd like to auction it off, and I like the idea of giving it to the veterans again.
Okay. Well, if we put it up for auction, whoever wins the bid gets to pick the organization because they're the ones. Okay. It's their money, so that we let them pick it. Do you want to auction it?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Okay, guys. Auction starting. This is a $40 value. Who will give $5? Let's start it at $5. Anybody wants to give $5. Remember, this is all going to be donated to the charity of your choosing if you win. So,
Kathy, you're a trooper.
Thanks,
Thank
Kathy.
you.
That's,
that's
so,
good.
so awesome that you chose to do that. Anybody, $5. $10 to Mark
come on,
N.
guys.
All right, $10 Mark N. Mark N's got $10 going. And do I hear 15? $15 from anybody.
We got 10. We got 10. We got 10.
We
Do I
got
hear
20.
15,
We got
15,
10.
20?
We got 20. Bill
$20.
Kirchner,
Bill Kirchner.
$20. $30
$30
Chain Weaver.
Oh, yay.
$30 to Chain Weaver. Well, that's still good. You can get these things on the website, Mob Mento, for $40. But remember, this is going to charity. Does anybody want to give up $40 for this, or are we just going to stay at 30? We could stay at 30. We got
30. We got 30. We got 35, 35, 40.
And we got 35. Nobody's bidding.
Oh,
Oh,
yay.
Misty Robka. Misty gave $40. Misty's a
Misty,
veteran.
thank you.
Misty is a veteran herself. And
We got 40. We got 40.
Here,
We got 50. 50. 50.
$50 for the gun. Anybody got $50?
That's great.
Misty takes it.
It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna figure out where this is going to. Misty also, just on a side note, donates a lot of time to the Salvation Army, which is also what Jac did for a lot of years. Jac donated a lot to the to it. Do we hear $50? Going once. Going once. $39.99.
Wow.
BG. You can't go down. You have to go up. Do we hear? Going once. All right, going twice. This is going to go to the charitable organization of your choosing, whoever wins it. $50. Keep your religion out of my life.
Oh, wow.
$50 for this gun. $50. Keep your religion out of my life. Is
He outbid you, Misty.
It looks like you're a member of the channel too. Keep your religion out of my life. Thank you for joining the channel. Do we hear $60? Anybody out there? $60 goes to the charity. You're choosing the charity. Going once for $50. Keep your religion out of my life. $55 from Misty. Misty's back. Misty's back on top. $55. All right. $55 going to the choosing of your organization that you want. Do we hear it? Do we hear 60? Going once. $55 unless we get 60. Going twice. Going twice.
Misty's got
Anybody at all? $60. All right, I guess it is sold. $55 to Misty.
You got it.
Way to go. Way to
Awesome.
go. That's great.
$55. Okay, so Kathy.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you so much for doing that. That was awesome.
My pleasure. Thank you.
That
I
was
can't
awesome.
Wait to come and visit the mob tour.
Hey, Kathy, can we send you a photograph as a thank you?
That would be great.
Okay.
That would be great.
Let me mute you for just a second.
Yeah, Kathy's been muted so they can get her private information, where to send the photograph to. And then we need, after that's done, Misty, we need you to call in so Adam can have your address to and you can pick the charity of your choice. Where you're going to donate it.
Great.
Awesome.
Adam.
Thanks so much, Kathy. We appreciate it. Okay, we need a call in now from Misty. So, Misty, you got the number down there in the bottom of the screen, and give us a call. And it's so awesome. $55, and she wants it to go to the disabled American vets, it looks like. But call us up, Misty, if you can, and we will have you on for a quick couple of minutes here and get your information that we need to send this off to. You know, Red, I really like doing this. I think that this is a nice it's a nice gesture to do something like this for
I think it's good too.
I think it's just, it's really, It's really cool. So, all right. Frank.
Come on, Misty, call in. Here's the number. I put it up for you.
Frank Panek. Hey, Red, give me a call. I've got a great idea for your intro. I meant to pass a message along to you earlier on it. So
okay, Frank. I don't know how to call you, but I'll try.
Oh, okay. Hold on. We got Misty on air. I just put the mic live, Misty.
Oh, no worries.
So, how are you?
I'm good. I've just been, just making some going through some life changes. Had to fix had to actually get through some stuff with the VA. That's why I know about the disabled American Veterans Day. But they actually helped me quite a bit lately.
They've helped you a lot, so we're gonna donate this to the disabled American veterans.
Oh yeah, they're such a great charity. They really do help. They help all veterans. They got me my disability from the VA when the VA didn't want to give it to me.
Very good.
Nice.
DAV, Disabled American Veterans.
Okay, then that's where it's gonna go. And
how do I pay for the $55?
So I'm going to give you a call as soon as we get off air, and we'll go over that, and then we'll do that, and then we're going to start the after party. But Misty, thank you from me, from Red, from all the prescribers. I think everybody appreciates what you've done today and what we're doing here. So
thank you, Misty, and God bless you.
So it's if you can't put a few extra bucks up for charity, what can you do? Come on.
Right? That's what I say, right? Why not?
Oh, by the way, I got cousins coming in September, and they're way hotter than me. You can't wait to get kissed on the cheek by them.
Oh boy, you got a bunch of cousins?
Yeah, really good looking ones too.
Good looking ones.
And I'm from Tennessee, so you know what that means, right?
Yeah, you bringing them on the mob tour?
I'm going to, yeah.
Oh, wow, all right.
My aunt wants to go. It's like in her late 80s, so she may be on. We'll see. But the other ones, we're all from Chicago, so actually, But so honestly, But I told them, they're like, oh yeah, really? I said, yeah. I told them when I went on, it's like, oh God, we got to do that when we come out. I'm like, yeah, you're doing it. So
awesome.
I'm a retard. I know. I'm a little off my pace today. I'm off my meds. That's what it
is. the medication's wearing off.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right. I'll see you all
right.
After party. Good to talk to you again, Red. We're gonna go shoot when you come to Vegas, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, ma'am. Whatever. I'm sorry.
Okay, perfect. So, Misty, we'll give you a call back in a few minutes. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Thanks for doing that again. And we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So we, I think, had a successful day here. We raised a little bit of money for the disabled vets, right?
Yes. And Arthur Stillwell is saying, thank you for your service, Misty. Misty was a Marine.
Yeah, Misty was a Marine. Leanne, thanks for serving our country, Misty. Yes. So it's, war, high miss can't be wrong. That's not, that wasn't the last story. Well, anyway, we had some fun today, Brad. We had Jack on. We're going to have Jack on the after party, but, hey, all good things must come to an end. And that's
Follow us to the after party, folks, if you want to hear the rest of what's going on.
Yeah. Go take a bathroom break, and we'll be back on in like about 15 minutes. Okay. So, Red, thank you very much once again. It's been a pleasure. And let's,
Thank you, Adam.
Hey, I'll see you soon.